Hang on. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I just gotta.
Oh, we got to record. Okay, I'm recording.
Awesome. Oh. Hang on. There we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Welcome, Perfect Organism, an Alien Saga pod. Welcome, Perfect Organism, the Alien Saga podcast, not an Alien Saga podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Prater, and I'm joined by my creative partner and co-host.
Patrick Green.
And
The
here we are,
Patrick Green, not a
the
Patrick Green.
Patrick, not a Patrick Green, of the Greenhouse Murders on Netflix.
Nobody's gonna get that joke.
I know they
It's
won't. They
okay. We
won't.
didn't kill anybody. Don't worry.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Jamie, we have crazy news. I mean, when I
Mm,
say my jaw hit the floor, it hit the floor. This was not,
yes,
I
me
did
too.
not see this coming at all. Oh my God.
Yes.
Uh Fede, oh my God, I just did it too. Fede
Fede Romulus.
Alvarez. Fede Alvarez is not directing Alien Romulus 2, the sequel to Alien Romulus, whatever it's going to be called. Wow.
Alien Romuluses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking. I really love Fede. I think he's a wonderful, kind man. You and I have met up with him several times. He's been on our show a few
Great
times.
guy. Great
Um,
guy.
I'm My intuition is a little alarmed about this news, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
And
quite a few people have been expressing that. What's funny is that the timing of this, I was chatting with our patrons for the first time in like 2 months because I haven't really done that yet. This is the first time I was kind of popping in, and I got to say that was awesome. Thank you everybody for talking to me, and I hope to do that a lot more often, obviously now. And so I was there when this news dropped, and we all were like, "What?" Like it was such a shockwave. And then similar to like when Alien Isolation 2 was announced, it's just I knew something was going on because my phone was just and it's like it's either some sort of like a health crisis in the family or it's some crazy breaking news. And a
hmm,
lot of people were saying, "Oh, this is really bad news. This doesn't bode well." To your point.
yeah, and I don't know if it's necessarily okay. Here, I'll just say it. So my gut instinct, and it's probably wrong. No, I'm not saying my gut instinct. My fear instinct says what the script is going to be a bit bombastic, and they're going to do some pretty crazy things. Maybe in terms of introducing a predator, and so perhaps Fede was like, "I'm out of this. I don't want to be in the spotlight for this. Someone else can do this." That's where my fear goes. However, I am also concerned about a script written this quickly. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I would rather the film. I mean, despite my own issues with Romulus, and there are many, I think in terms of an in-world, in-universe thing, it's gorgeous. It plays really well. It is a fun time. It is a fun ride. But yeah, I'm just scared. I'm scared about this.
Yeah, Romulus is like, we always say it's kind of like greatest hits, but that's not necessarily a pejorative thing because it's a really fun movie to put on and watch with friends and family and get dressed up for and get in costumes. It's a great movie. It's a really fun movie. It's not the most elevated thing in the world and it's not the most original thing in the world, but we've talked about this ad nauseum. It has a lot of really redeeming qualities. So I was not at all upset that Fede was directing the second. I actually was like, oh, that's cool. A lot of our conversations have been centered around, oh, maybe this will be his chance to break out a little bit from under Ridley's shadow. And maybe now we can kind of see what like Fede really wants to do with it and
Hmm.
get more of the kind of gory kind of, treatment that we kind of expected from him. Maybe a little more kind of unique characters and things.
Mm.
And that's that's not going to happen now. I mean, I got to say, we know people, of course, who are in the industry and people who one would assume have been working on this. And I have not heard a peep about this from any of our friends, contacts, colleagues. Like, as far as I'm concerned, Fede was attached to this until I mean, it feels almost like this morning. It feels like this was such a sudden and like there was no because normally when news comes down the pipeline, even with the isolation sequel, there were rumblings that something was coming. You kind of could feel it, but this really just feels like it was completely out of nowhere. And it's hard not to look at it in the context of when this happened. Our friend Kyle Nelson was talking to me, He was mentioning how, it's interesting that this is just kind of days after Ridley was talking about doing Gladiator 3, that the timing of that is sort of interesting. Uh, it's hard not to look at this in terms of Alien Earth, which has been doing incredibly well. It's the number one streaming show in the world, and if you go on IMDb, it's the second most trafficked page on the entire IMDb site right now.
Hmm.
So it's doing really, really well. And I don't know if that means there's some kind of an internal course correction where the studio wants to, take a different route or something, or maybe Fede feels like he maybe isn't suited for what people are looking for. But then again, that's not true at all because it made almost 5 times its production budget. So that's BS. I really just don't know why this happened.
Yeah, and to that point, I remember a few months back, Fede talking about working on a better deal with 20th Century Studios, which is of course the parent studio. Well,
Yeah,
it's the parent studio of this IP, but also owned by Disney. And then Steve Asbell, the president of 20th Century Studios, saying we are working on a deal with Fede right now. So all of that seemed worked out. So yeah, I'm curious why this has happened. Unless a better project came up for Fede and he's like, you know what, I want to do
that's
something a
very
little bit more
possible.
original, you know?
Very possible.
Um,
Yeah, very possible. And if you look at Evil Dead, for example, he directed his entry and then he moved to a producer role. When you look at, I think he produced the sequel. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But he also did that with Don't Breathe, right? He did not direct the second Don't Breathe. He produced it. So this could be maybe a pattern. Like maybe he doesn't want to get kind of boxed into doing the same thing over and over again
mhm,
and
mhm.
direct something and then move. It's just it feels like we would have known that earlier. Like the timing it's just weird. Like I think in a normal situation where this was kind of planned for, that would have been news kind of right after Romulus came out, where he's like, now we're looking on a search for the next, director for this project and things. Uh, but I got to say, in that Patreon chat, the first thing that came up, and I don't have it in front of me, so I don't remember who said it, was, well, who do you want to direct the next Alien movie? And then we had this amazing little back and forth about it with everybody. And I was like, man, it is exciting to not know again and to be like, this could really go in a lot of different directions. And for my money, for what it's worth, I would love to see the Spear sisters do it, who did Alien Ore. So I'm starting a little mini campaign on that because I think it'll be great to break the streak of exclusively male directors in 50 years of our franchise. I think it'd be really cool to have new voices. And they did such a great job with the creature and with the character building and the world building in that little 8-minute movie they made that I think that could be very exciting. So it's a chance for a new beginning, and it's a chance to spread our wings and find something else. And I think, as always, I'm kind of leaning into that, into the opportunity, into the trying to be positive about it because who knows what else could
Yeah,
happen.
I think that there's far more reason to be excited about who is next, who's coming into the fold. I think the Spear Sisters would be a great selection. I think the woman who I can't remember her name right now, who directed episode 3 of Alien
I was
Earth,
thinking that too.
she
Ugla,
would be
yeah,
amazing. Wasn't
Ugla,
Ugla did she
Ugla
didn't
Haug's
do
daughter.
episode 3, she did 4 and 6.
Oh, she did 4 and 6, right? Oh, so who
Yeah.
did?
But
I don't know.
Ugla would be
Go
great
Google.
too. But I can't remember the name of the director who did episode 3, but it was also a woman.
Yeah,
And I think she would be awesome. I have my friend um, who just directed a sci-fi film for Netflix. He also directed Fast 10. I think he might be an interesting choice. He also
sure.
was in the suit and on set for Alien Resurrection. I think he could be an interesting choice if they go with him. I don't want to name
Yeah,
him just because I don't. But yeah, this is exciting. Also nerve-wracking too. Alien's in a precarious place. It's in a great place right now. We're feasting on content, but it's also in a precarious place too. Like, I'm just curious what this is in this script. Where is this going? Is it including a predator? Hope to God it's not. But yeah, I am excited.
yeah, me too. I don't. There's no predators in this thing.
I don't
There's
think
there's
so
there's
either.
no way. We
Yeah,
know people who know people, and there's no predators in this.
yeah,
We're fine.
yeah.
Watch, there's going to be all predators now.
Oh
It's
my
going to be
God.
it's going to be Dan Trachtenberg, and it's going to be predators. But no, it's not.
No. If that were to
That's a
happen,
joke. It's not going
and
to
I don't
happen.
want to like draw lines in the sand, but if there were a predator that ends up in an alien film, I'm done with I will be done with that particular set of films. Not the films that have come before it, but that is not anything that I want to see. And from what I've seen in fandom, very few people are interested in seeing that. Everyone's all has been like, Yes, do your own thing, but keep the alien films, which I fully agree with. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Just a couple quickly. Christofferson in the chat says it's kind of funny how he was known for making uncomfortable and gross horror movies like Evil Dead, the Evil Dead reboot, but when Romulus came out, it didn't feel as hardcore like he used to. Interesting comment from Christofferson. Yeah, people commenting in the chat for this very short update, but lots to think about.
Lots to think about. And we'll be doing more of these because we're finally getting YouTube Live to work. So, make sure you hit that subscribe thing and the bell notification. I'll get better at